So Noble Credit has just made a response to my 524 video that I did a while ago on saying 524 is a little overrated and prioritizing it as the above all, beyond all, the alpha and omega, the rule of credit cards is a little. So he made a reaction video and now I'm reacting to his reaction video. Let's get into it. All right, no singing at the beginning of this video. This is serious. This is legit. This is no, it's fun. This is all in fun. This is all in fun. But before I do get started, I do have to take care of something. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike's Travels and Cents, where I go over points and travel strategies, and more importantly, how not to go broke while enjoying it all. If that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future content like this. And if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. All right, so as I mentioned in the intro, this is my reaction to the reaction that Noble Credit did to my 524 video, where I pretty much stated that it was overrated and prioritizing it as the end all be all to credit card rules is a little crazy. And that's just my opinion. And so he had some points to my video and I'm just, responding to that video, and it's all in jest. We actually have a pretty decent amount in common. We're both in the military. He's in the Navy, I'm in the Air Force. And then we have our differences. He's got a cat, I got a dog. I used to have the long hair, but now I'm working on the waves, anyway. But yeah, he's rocking the long hair and the bandana, so I'm not as cool, but anyway. But yeah, this is all in fun. So what I want you guys to do, I'm leaving a link to his channel in the description of this video, so I definitely encourage you all to go over there, subscribe to the channel, check out his videos. He's been doing this for a long time, definitely knows what he's talking about. And if you do subscribe, definitely drop a comment under one of his videos and let him know Mike's Travels and Cents sent you. But with all that out of the way, let's really get into the video. All right, so the first point that I'd like to address is the point that he made, where I pretty much said that coming out of 524, you have a pretty aggressive looking credit profile, and it may make it a little bit more difficult for you to get approved by certain credit card issuers who are really sensitive to those kinds of things. And this is what he had to say.
Possible. So when it comes to his comment about going at Capital One, I think he was just using Capital One as an example, but in case he wasn't, as someone in the military, getting your cards for free from Amex and Citi and US Bank and Chase, you wouldn't go after Capital One. After Chase, you would go to either Amex or US Bank. Now, if you didn't want to wait a long time for US Bank, you can skip US Bank. If I was in the position years ago where I had the choice to go to Amex or US Bank, I would still go with Amex just because I get so many more cards, so much more value, and the waiting for US Bank, it probably wouldn't be worth it anyway. The opportunity cost wouldn't be worth it. But I'm making this point to say Amex, since it's not inquiry sensitive, this is a non-issue.
So I didn't really specify whether I was talking about me or whether I was talking about a general credit card, enthusiast or whatever. And so that's probably my bad. But anyway, so personally, I would not be looking to go to Capital One after I finish Chase. Actually, Capital One, I don't know. I'm really not the hugest fan, honestly. But I understand that there are some people that may not even be considering Amex, and Capital One may be their next step, or US Bank or Barclay, which all have their own specific card rules that basically make it a little bit more sensitive for you coming out of 524 and increase the chances of you getting denied or not being able to maximize those credit card issuers. So again, personally, I would not be looking to go to Capital One after Chase. And so I agree with him, especially as a military person, I would be I'm going straight to Amex very aggressively. Actually, no, I'll probably go to US Bank and then Amex. All right, so the next point I'd like to hit is pretty much the comment that I made about Chase isn't a life sentence. You can always come back to Chase 524. And this is what Noble Credit had to say. Like 524 isn't a permanent, death sentence or something like that. Like you only get those 5 cards and you can never come back to Chase. But
it's not that you can never come back to Chase. It's just that with the track that you want to be on as someone in the military, you wouldn't want to wait 2 years to get back in the chase.
And so my thoughts there are that we pretty much, as you know, me and him, or like other military YouTubers like Jake Bro, we have to remember that we are a minority within a minority. So like, there are people that are like, there's a lot of military members that just have the platinum card and that's it, and maybe like the Sapphire Reserve. But people like us, we're talking about getting 12, 14, 15, 16 plus cards. So not every military member is gonna be like us, and that's okay. So for us, it would be very difficult for us to, you know, go back to chase after we've been hitting all of these cards for such a long time. But if you're a general military member who's just like, I only want to go between Chase and Amex, and then once you hit all your Amex cards, you just sit for a while and then come back to Chase, because some people in general, even outside of the military, just aren't that comfortable going between a bunch of different credit card issuers. And not only that, speaking on the general, you know, civilian, there are people that would probably just get, you know, and they'd be fine just getting their Chase trifecta, or, you know, three or another card on top of their trifecta, and then be out of Chase, maybe hit a couple other credit cards, and then actually just be fine. Or I think Sebi calls it gardening. So you just be chilling for a while, pretty much. Like us not having to worry about annual fees, there's no point in us ever stopping, because there's nothing to stop us.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
But for a civilian who generally has to worry about annual fees, it's not too unreasonable for them to just, you know, want to chill on, you know, racking up all these annual fees and opening all these credit cards and having to balance all that, and not only have to deal with paying off the card, but also have to worry about the annual fees. All right, so the next clip I like to highlight is where I talk about the cards I'm missing out on, and all those credits that I'm missing out on that have been converted to grocery and dining credits.
All right, I'm gonna stop him there. He's talking about missing out on American Express travel credits. Basically, in a video that I released maybe 2 months ago, I mentioned how this is basically credit card Christmas for anyone like me, anyone churning credit cards in the military, going ham. They know how I'm rocking. They know I got hella cards giving hella credits. He's talking about missing out on credits, and I agree with him. It's just the problem is he unfortunately has gotten into this at just an inopportune time. Any other time, this wouldn't be an issue. Any other time, getting your 5 Chase cards, this wouldn't be an issue. But this is such an opportune time to have these American Express cards, these city cards, that it may feel like the Chase 524 rule is overrated, but it's not. It's just that this is a special case circumstance where having high-end credit cards, it's never been a better time to have high-end credit cards. So it could feel like if you don't have these, and you know you probably should or could have had them while getting them for free, it could feel like you're missing out. This is just a very special time, something that's never happened.
Yeah, he's right. I am missing out, and it sucks. Moving on from there, and another point I like to address is where I pretty much said that it's very arguable that Chase has 5 credit cards that are worth missing out on every other credit card issuer. And this is what Noble Credit had to say.
But can you really argue that they have 5 credit cards that are worth missing out on every other credit card issuer? I don't think so.
Could you argue it? Yes. Would you win the argument? Maybe. Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Sapphire Reserve. If you're in the military and you don't have at least 3 Chase Sapphire Reserves, you should at least be working on it. Because starting with Chase, you should at least have a Freedom Unlimited, one of those two, a Chase Sapphire Reserve, a hotel card, and then you probably should have added, you know, another Freedom card or something like that to upgrade to another Chase Sapphire Reserve in a year's time if you're in the military.
Yep, he's got me there. But this point has a caveat that I'll bring up after the next clip. And so the next clip is where I pretty much mini rant on why I do not like the Freedom card and why I would not burn a Chase slot for a Freedom card. And this is what Noble Credit had to say.
And this is really frustrating because a lot of people encourage you to burn one of those slots with a freaking Freedom card, which I think is a bad move.
Not a burn slot. If you listen to what I just said about upgrading the Freedom card to a Chase Sapphire Reserve?
So most normal people would probably just get the Freedom card to have it as part of a trifecta or anything. Considering only military people could even make it make sense to have 2, let alone 3 Chase Sapphire Reserves. Those benefits would just overlap way too much, especially things like the pre-check and priority pass. Like that stuff would just overlap too much. So when I was saying that, I was speaking to people who would get the card and keep it, as in like, you know, for a trifecta or something, and not necessarily using it as like a springboard to get to another Sapphire Reserve. If you are in the military, you should definitely use it as an upgrade path to another Sapphire Reserve. And I actually tip my hat to Noble Credit for that, because I was not even thinking about getting the Freedom card to use it in that way. So yeah, definitely salute to him for that. I still don't like the Freedom card though. All right, so the next point I like to bring up is where Noble Credit goes on again about the multiple Chase Sapphire Reserves. And I actually agree with him here, but let's listen to what he has to say.
I think 524 is a bit overrated at this point, and
Just to preface something that I think I touched on, you have to jump into the Freedom cards, the Freedom Unlimited, the Freedom, or the Slate in order to get multiple Chase Sapphire Reserves, which if you're in the military, you should be trying to get, you should have already gotten, or you should be on the verge of getting. Maybe not now. Maybe COVID has kind of messed up your churning, but making sure you know that.
And I gotta say, Noble Credit has actually changed my mind about Chase. Not the 524 rule, but he has changed my kind of strategy about Chase. So what I'll probably actually end up doing is getting the Ink Business Unlimited, since that annual fee is also 0 like the Chase Ink Cash. And you know, military members, we still have to pay the annual fee on Chase's business cards. And there's no way I'm hitting that sign up bonus on the Ink Business Preferred. Your boy is just not spending like that. But what I'll probably do is get that Ink Business Unlimited so I can hold off on that for a little bit, and then probably actually get a Freedom card. And from there, I'll use that as an upgrade path to another Chase Sapphire Reserve. And if I need to buy it any more time, fortunately, my wife is also in the military, so I can leverage her, you know, line of credit as well to kind of, you know, get other cards, because right now she just has that preferred, and even though I don't like the preferred, she did get that elevated sign up bonus. So there's another option with Chase. Last but not least, Noble Credit brought up the RIP, the Ritz-Carlton card.
On getting the Ritz card, you know, I wanted the Ritz card so badly after I realized that I wanted it. And the very second that I realized, this was like July 2018, they canceled.
Yeah, my heart still bleeds for that Ritz-Carlton card. I definitely missed the boat on that one. RIP to the realest. But yeah, that's all I had to say as a reaction to his reaction video. I gotta say thank you for doing the reaction, because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of content he could have did a reaction to. So I really appreciated that he watched the content and felt it was, you know, enough content to actually do a video off of. So I really appreciate that. Definitely got some subscribers off the shout out. So yeah, any of my subscribers, you definitely, if you have the time, go check out his channel, subscribe, show him some love, let him know Mike's Travels and Cents sent them on the way. And to Noble Credit, salute, thanks for the reaction video. And yeah, like I said, maybe we'll collab on a track or something in the future, who knows. But be sure to be looking out for that Points and Miles Academy video series. I am still drafting that up, and if you want to see any input in that video series, go ahead, leave that comment in the comment of this video, the video that got uploaded Tuesday of this week, or the video that's going to get uploaded Friday. I kind of reversed the order that I uploaded those, but anyway, leave a comment on anything you want to see in that video series in the comments of these videos, or any videos in the future up until that video series actually comes out. But remember, the only thing more valuable than your points is your money, and the only thing more valuable than your money is your time. But until next time, peace.